Welcome to the Astoria Fire Department, Mr. Alenek. I'm Captain Nick, and I'll be conducting this interview today. Let's see. We have a few questions. First, most importantly, why do you want to be a firefighter? When did you decide on this career?
I decided at a young age when my father was a police chief in Westbrook, Maine. My family's been around public safety for quite some time right now. And when he was a police chief, I used to find myself wandering across the street to the firehouse and hanging out with the firemen and trying to learn the job. And also, you know, just kind of cleaning the trucks and hanging around the firehouse. Just being around the firehouse made me happy at that age. Now I want to be I'm presently a firefighter right now, but I would like to be a firefighter in Astoria Fire because there's a lot of dedication. I've talked to a lot of gentlemen that are on Astoria Fire Department, and it's a department I'd like to see myself on.
So Mr. Alenek, if you could just explain a little bit about, you said just about you're currently a firefighter, but what are your other qualifications? What other training do you bring to our department?
I've gone through several training sessions. I've been to two fire academies through the Department of Defense. I've also gone through the New York City Fire Department Academy. I have qualifications through the Department of Defense, Firefighter Level 2, Fire Instructor Level 2. I also am presently going towards my Fire Science Bachelor's degree. I've also taken several courses through FEMA, through the ICS Incident Command System, and that's the qualifications themselves. I think I'm a good candidate for the position because of my qualifications.
Okay, Mr. Alenek, how do you deal with certain problem scenarios? So, for instance, let's say one of your fellow firemen are caught drinking on the job, or there's a fight with another employee. Maybe one of the firemen you know under your command is caught stealing some company equipment. How do you deal with these situations, some of these situations?
Some of the situations that I would deal with in the conflict within the fire department, such as, you know, stealing, that would be a major issue. I would bring that to my, you know, company commander's decision and basically find out, you know, what he would have to handle that situation. If I could approach the firefighter in reference to other conflicts, depending upon the situation, like an argument or something within the firehouse, I would try to, you know, calm everybody down, find out what the conflict is, and, you know, try to separate it and get it decelerated and basically not be able to, you know, have them continue with whatever's going on. Anything else such as, you know, sexual harassment, racial problems or whatever, I would stick to the standing operating procedures and regulations within the department, and like I said before, I'd notify my line officer and tell them so they could go handle the situation.
Okay, Mr. Alenek, have you ever been in an emergency situation or give an example of an emergency situation you've been in where you've had to make a drastic decision? Explain what you did and a little bit about your thought process going through that.
When I was a firefighter actually in North Carolina, I had to make a very drastic, conflicting decision. We responded to a private dwelling that was on fire. When we arrived on scene, we actually found the mother and the father outside, and the father had third-degree burns. And my partner and myself were the initial hose line that was going into the actual structure itself. And the father and mother came running up telling us that there were 3 children still inside the residency. So my partner and myself, we actually went around to the side of the structure and made entry through a bedroom window. And when we made entry, we began to start our primary search. And when we were doing our primary search, you could tell that the conditions within the residence was getting increasingly worse. So when we were in there, we actually got an order over the radio from the command that the structure was actually starting to collapse. So my partner and myself, we had to make a decision at that time to decide to leave or still continue on with the primary search. But we both knew at the time that the primary search, we needed to get out of the residence because it was just too much. So we made that decision to get out.
Okay, that must have been very difficult for you, Mr. Alanak. And how far would you like to go, because you obviously have some experience as a fireman already, but how far would you like to go in the fire services, and where do you see yourself like 5 years from now?
I would like to move through the ranks of the chain of command within the fire service and offer the department as much as I could. Within the next 5 years, I'd like to see myself as a line officer or on some sort of specialty company as a fireman, such as a squad or a rescue company or whatever.
Okay. Why would we select you over the other candidates that we have been interviewing?
I know for a fact that Astoria has a high rate of people trying to get on the department. So I feel that you have quite a few qualified individuals probably applying for the fire department. And I see myself, basically because of my motivation, dedication to the fire department and the job, I see myself as a qualified individual, a knowledgeable individual that could actually assist and benefit the your fire department. And just look forward to hopefully getting a phone call.
Okay, and Mr. Alnight, is there anything you would like to add? Is there anything you would like to add or ask from me, or is that the end of my questions?
No, I think, I've been online to the actual Astoria Fire Department website, and they're very informative, and I got a lot of answers. I got a couple friends on the job here, and they've answered a lot of my questions. So like I said, I'm just looking forward to hopefully getting a phone call.
All right, well, thank you, Mr. Alnight, for your time, and we look forward to talking to you in the future.
Thank you, Captain. Have a good day.
You too.